Hi everyone, welcome to our video series Donald Physiotherapy Cares. Today we're going to do a segment called Active Seniors. We're going to start out with a little bit of a warm-up, then we're going to get into some strength and balance exercises. Everybody ready? Let's go! Alright, let's start with a little bit of a warm-up. So we're going to start out warming up our legs a little bit first, just doing a bit of leg swings. Feel free to hang on to a chair or other piece of furniture if you need to for balance. The first one we're going to do is just swinging one leg back and forth. Okay, so we're going to swing it back and forth a few times. Try to keep that upper body nice and tall. That's it. Good. And then we'll switch to the other leg. Again, hang on to something if you need to for balance. With this one, we're not too worried about balance. We're more worried about just getting that leg warmed up. Okay, so we can go back and forth. That's it. Great. Now, switch legs again, and we're going to do more of a sideways one. So we can go out and in, and out and in. Okay, again, feel free to hang on to something. That'll definitely help us out with the balance part. We can switch to our other leg, going back and forth. That's it. Good job. All right, now we're going to go with our feet about shoulder width apart. Hands are on our thighs. I'm going to get you to watch my nose the whole time. So keep watching my nose as we move your hands down your thighs as low as you can go. And then we're going to come all the way up and towards the sky. Okay, so we're going to slide the hands down the thighs. Good, come all the way up. Key here is don't look at the floor. Make sure you look forward at me. Keep watching my nose. Good, and that'll help keep your back in a good position so we can keep it nice and straight. Okay, so keep looking forward. Reach up nice and high. Let's do a few more. Good. We can go a little faster if we want to get a little bit more of a cardio aspect to it. Good. And one more. Good job. Okay, then we'll get into some twists. So we'll do our alligator arms. We're just going to rotate back and forth. Again, just as much as we can within comfort. We don't want to force it. Then we can go a little bit bigger and a little bit faster. That's it. Now we can bring those arms out nice and straight. That's it. Good. Keep the arms out nice and straight. Nice big twist. Good. Great job. Okay, now we can start to do some arm circles. So we can start out with fairly small circles and then going into bigger ones. If this bothers your shoulders at all, then stick with the smaller circles. We're going to go just nice and slow. Good. If it feels comfortable, we can start to go a little bit faster with it. Good. We can get those arms going a little bit faster. Good. And then we can go the opposite direction. So again, we can do little circles to start with. And you can just stay with the little ones if it bothers the shoulders at all. We can even go down here if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to go into those nice big circles. Add a little bit of speed to it. That's it. Great job. All right, we'll move into a couple of exercises here where we can use a chair again. Again, if you have a couch handy, you could probably use that. Even again, a good solid coffee table would probably work for these. So first one we're going to do is a variation of the plank, which is a good abdominal strengthening exercise. So with the chair, I've got my good solid top of the chair. I'm just going to get my forearms on top of the chair and then bring my feet out. So it's very similar to a push-up position. Again, we want to make sure the bum is not up in the air. We want to bring it down so that you're in a nice straight line. And then once we get to this position, we just hold it. And we want to try to hold for a good 20, 30 seconds or so, or until we feel like we need to come out of it if it's creating any discomfort or you're starting to get very fatigued. So we try to hold this position for that 20, 30 seconds. If we're finding that that's too easy for us, much like with the push-up, we can go to a little lower height with our arms to make it more difficult. So in this case, I'm just going to switch the chair around. Now we're going to put the forearms down onto the seat pan of the chair. So now we bring forearms down. Again, we can drop our bum down so that we're in a nice straight line. And then we're just trying to hold our position for 20 or 30 seconds. Okay? So again, anything solid that you can get the upper body weight onto will work for that. Now, if we want to work our arms a little bit, again, a chair like this with arms on it is kind of nice. We can do a dip exercise. So we would sit, we can get the arms on the hands on the armrests, and we're going to use the arms to push, not the legs, but the arms. So we start from here, we push through the arms, coming up, and then lower yourself down with your arms. Again, the legs don't help out very much. They can if you need to a little bit, but ideally we want the arms to do most of the work. So we're just going to push up with the arms, and then slowly back down, making sure we don't plop down onto your bum like that. So we're pushing up, and then nice and slow all the way down. So another good example how we can use our chair for a few of these different exercises. All right, let's continue on with one of my favorite exercises, the chair squat. Okay, anytime we say squats, people always get a little bit freaked out by squats, but it's something that we do every day as we're getting in and out of a chair. So what we can do with this chair is we're going to go about shoulder width with our feet. And the big key here is that we just want to reach our bum back, and we want to come down nice and slow to the chair. We don't want to plop down into the chair. We want to come down just nice and slow. So again, we keep looking forward. Keep looking at me the whole time you do it. Keep looking at my nose. We're going to drop your bum down, come down to the chair nice and slow, and then we're going to come back up. What we want to try to avoid is we want to try to avoid having to fling ourselves forward. So we want to come down, get good set position, and then push with the legs, coming back up nice and tall. Okay, so we're coming down, reaching our bum back, then pushing up, making sure that our knees stay in line over top of our toes. We don't want them to cave in on us at all as we're coming down. So we want those knees to stay over top of our feet. Coming down again, nice and slow, and then pushing up. If you're using a chair like this with armrests, there's no problem with using the armrests if need be to lower down nice and slow. And again, we can use them to help create that bit of a push up. Ideally, we want to go without the armrests if we can, but if we're finding we need that extra little boost, not a problem to use them as well. Now we can move into a little more of a hip strengthening exercise. Again, good idea to have something close to you to hang on to for balance, whether it's kitchen counter, piece of furniture, even if it's just a broomstick, something that you can use for a bit of balance. We don't want to grip it. It's just there if we need it. Okay, so we're going to stand nice and tall, and then we're going to bring a leg straight out sideways. Okay, everything stays nice and straight. The big key here is that as that leg is moving, we don't want it to rotate, so we don't want our toes to rotate out at all. We always want those toes pointing straight forward, and we don't want our upper body to tilt as the leg moves. Okay, so we stay nice and tall, just the leg moves out like that. Okay, so we can either do it like this where we hang on with one hand, or if need be, we can hang on with two hands. Again, don't watch your feet as we're staying nice and tall as we bring that leg straight sideways, and then we would switch over and doing the other side. All right, let's continue on with a couple more exercises. So first one we're going to do is another dynamic balance exercise called the tandem walk. So the idea of this exercise is that like we're walking along a tightrope. You see some of these guys walking across Niagara Falls up high. That's essentially what we're going to do just on the flat floor. So what we do is we place one foot directly in front of the other one, just like we're walking the tightrope. Again, we can have our arms out to the sides if need be to help maintain the balance. If you don't have to have them out there, that's fine. And we're just going to go back and forth. So again, if we have a distance of about 10-15 feet or so, down the hallway or across the living room, that works great. But the idea is we want our heel to touch the toes as we take each step. Okay, we'll go one more time back and forth. Good. Again, use the arms if you need to for that extra little bit of balance or support. Okay. Trying to stay as still as we possibly can as we go back and forth. All right, then we'll move into something that's called a star drill. And so the idea of it is that we're going to touch all the points of the star with our foot. So we get all the weight onto one foot, making sure we keep this knee over top of the foot. And then my other leg is going to touch the points of the star. Okay? So we start out, we go all the way forward, and we can reach all the way backwards. We can go all the way sideways, and then across. Okay? Again, really watching what this leg does. We want to make sure that it's not caving in or out on us at all as we're moving, so it stays nice and controlled as we do the different points of the star. Okay? If you find that you don't quite have the balance to stay on that leg by itself, that's fine. We can always use something to hang on to if need be. If you've got a broomstick or a counter or a chair, don't want to grip it. We want to have it just there just in case we need it. So ideally, if we're using a stick, we would hold it just off the floor. And then again, we can touch all those different points of the star. Trying the same thing on the other side, because you will notice a difference from side to side. So same idea. We're going to go forward, we're going to go backward, and touch into the sides.